FootyFanatics FC, live from NYC. God damn, it's been a while, cuz. What's good, Kiko in the building?
Super excited to be back.
Yeah, I know. Welcome back to FootyFanatics FC. My boy D Ships in the building.
Super excited to be back.
Nah, it is. It's a lot of nostalgia.
Oh, man.
Yo, shout out JWSP Productions, having him running the back show. Shout out my boy Jesse. What's good though, boys?
It's been a good season so far.
For
What's
who?
up?
I know, audience, we're a little late, but better than never. We're back, right?
Come on, better late than never, bro.
Exactly, better late than never. Let's get right into the juice of things, though. We had some big results this weekend. We also had some big news circling this weekend as well. Kiko, take the reins. Tell me what you want to jump on.
I think first and foremost, we have to talk about arguably the biggest scandal to happen in the 21st century in world football.
That's great. Scandal. Now it's scandal.
It's only a scandal when it's done.
Now because it's Madrid, it's scandal.
Real Madrid versus Valencia.
Uh-huh.
And the shithousery that happened towards the end of the game. I personally, I think the biggest thing that showed was just how bad the officiating was in Spain.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is the referees in Spain were getting a lot of heat. It's not football, it's La Liga. And I was always kind of like, well, listen, the referees, they're humans, they're going to make mistakes. The referee, the man that refereed that game, Gil Manzano, they say he was a ref in the first division for 11 years.
Wow. That's
crazy.
deep.
That's crazy.
To make that mistake with two teams that, despite what you think of Valencia, that's a rivalry right there.
Yeah.
The intensity of the match, the fans already
on
Vinicius, to have done what he did and essentially neutralized, a 99th minute winner from Jude Bellingham. I think that gives a lot of credit to Florentino Perez, to Real Madrid, who've been saying, yo, we get hard done by the refs. Yeah. And as neutrals, how can y'all fight that?
Yo, Shipper, you got any heat for this guy? Because I got a whole lot of heat.
But see, I will say one thing. So I watched the game. I didn't see the incident because I heard about it on Twitter. I'm like, wait, what? Like I heard Jude got sent off in addition to that. But then when I watch it back, the cross is being played. So it's not a thing where, like, I think the ball got played out wide, and then you can obviously tell Carvajal's going to put it in the box. It's not even like as the ball's getting to Carvajal, he blows the whistle. It's as soon as Carvajal plays it in. So naturally you think, let's see what happens. It's as the ball's in the air to Jude, he blows the whistle.
Hold on, let me just fact him real quick. It wasn't Carvajal, it was Brahim.
Brahim.
This is my thing, right? My biggest issue was the ball should have the referee should have been whistled right before the ball even got to the corner to Brahim. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
That should have been game. You get?
Yeah.
Real Madrid should not be complaining about 7 minutes or 9 minutes in OT already. He called 6 or 5, right? It was something like that.
So we're going to ignore the injury to the center defender.
Yeah, that's why. They add on time.
Come on.
But even still,
you guys get away with murder.
Let's
talk about Casemiro by himself when he was at Madrid.
See, I love this because now the true colors show
But
out.
see, why didn't we have this conversation when they played Rayo at home and the 2 VAR calls were called for offside when it wasn't offside? And mind you, I think we talked about this in the car. When it's Real Madrid and there's 50-50 decisions where is it a foul? Real gets a call. Is it a tight offside? Real gets a call. So over the season, it evens itself out.
But anyone that watched Madrid Rayo, I was the first one to say sus. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of those calls went ways where I was kind of like, even as a Madrid fan, I was embarrassed because the team you played, it shouldn't have came down to calls. But that doesn't justify what we saw at Messiah.
Right.
Like, even in Pee-wee U10s, when have you ever seen a ref blow a match mid-play?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And then the stakes of the game. Yeah. Like, Girona dropped points this weekend. Barca dropped points this weekend. Like, that's the title race, low-key, if you give us that win. Yeah. So that's, I think at the end of the day, what this just shows is the officiating in Spain is subpar, and it's embarrassing when you consider the Gil Manzanos did Champions League games, and I don't know if you guys saw it. There was a video that went viral of Declan Rice. Did you see that video?
Yeah, going
on the same run. What he say?
Corruption.
And that's West Ham.
Yeah. But listen, I mean, the refereeing in Spain is one thing. The refereeing across the world it's been terrible. We've all seen it. Premier League, VAR. I think one situation it did work was the World Cup, but I just want to switch gears really quick. Keep it on Madrid, and I kind of have a take, bro.
Shippy with the take in it.
I gotta be real.
Shippy with the take in it.
The side Real Madrid is constructing right now that they've done in the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Will be a better Galactico team than we've seen in 03-04, and I think even better than what we saw with BBC, Ronaldo, Bale. I think this team that's being constructed now, the names that Paris is putting together, I saw a list, bro. Vinny, Rodrigo, Endrick, Jude, Tchouameni. The list goes on.
Camavinga.
And then they forget Mbappe coming in.
Bro, this team that is being constructed
Rodrigo
will be better than what we saw.
Even Brahim Diaz, I apologize. Brahim Diaz been balling too.
Right.
He's really been on some crazy shit.
Bro, and the role play, like you said, people like role players. People talk about the big stars, the role players that are there, like you said, Brahim. Even people like Militao, Lucas Vasquez, like role players. I think they're gonna have one of the biggest impacts that we've seen with this Madrid team.
That's a hot take.
So
for someone, I've been a Real Madrid fan since I was a kid, so I've seen all 3 editions. I've seen Galacticos from 2000 to 2004, BBC, and I'm seeing the current squad makeup now. I actually think of the 3 editions, I think an even hotter take is of the 3, the Galacticos, I think, underachieved.
The first Galactico.
The main
Galactico.
Okay. The Roberto
Originals.
Carlos, David Beckham, Ronaldo, Zidane, Figo. Because for
You know
me,
what it is though, Kiko? Go
but
ahead.
before you say, I'm just gonna say this: you might have a case, but the BBC team, like
special.
That for me, people want to bring up Guardiola's Barca, but like that BBC team is one of the greatest teams we've ever seen, not just a Madrid edition. So I'm like, that's to say that. You know, it's far-fetched right now.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's the case. But BBC aside, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric in their apex.
This is why. So if we were to compare those, let's say the front 3. So let's say you have, because Mbappe's coming. Let's be real.
I mean, that's the thing that people are forgetting.
He's like at this table right now. Paris is here. His agent's here. I'm Mbappe. They're literally signing as we speak. Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo, front 3. BBC takes it. But Mbappe easily gets into that. Somewhere he fits into that BBC front 3. But let's be fair, BBC takes it. The midfield. Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, Camavinga, Jude, Tchouameni. It's tough, man. Jude is closest thing that we've seen to who?
Probably Zidane himself.
He's
actually almost Zidane with goal scoring ability.
Different profiles of players.
Yeah, Zidane was better technically.
That's a lot. Because Zidane is the goatee, boy.
He's the GOAT.
But we can't really put Jude in that conversation. Granted, yes, his time at Birmingham, his time at Dortmund, but we can't really yet push that narrative that he's the next thing.
No, he's not. He's, in terms of charisma and his attitude, like he's bringing.
I feel like Zidane was just a chill.
Yeah.
Just give me the ball, I'm volleying.
Yeah.
He ain't talk much. He just did the talking on the pitch. Now, regarding that Galactico take, right? You feel like they underachieved, but also during that Pep era, I always feel like it was just always Mourinho and Pep or whoever was coaching Madrid at the time, right? Moving forward to now, like let's be honest, Girona is challenging for the league. Galactico era, you had the likes of Valencia, you had the likes of Madrid, and all those squads like just cooking.
And the other teams in Europe were way stronger back then.
Exactly,
Sevilla,
especially La Liga. Barca with Figo, that transfer that happened, Dino now coming up. It was like, it was just more than one team. Even Atletico and so forth. So that's why I feel like it's hard to say they underachieved. I just feel like La Liga now compared to what we're used to seeing, in all respect, obviously, to Barca and Atletico. Right. But
the reason is I feel like they underachieved was Oliver Kahn said something on ESPN that I thought was interesting. He said when he played Real Madrid, he himself, Albert Kahn's one of the greatest goalkeepers to ever play the game.
Absolutely.
He said when he saw them, he was like Roberto Carlos, Zidane, Ronaldo, Figo, David Beckham. He's like, you had other old-time greats looking at that team like, how was this? It was the Avengers.
Yeah.
The problem was when you look about what they won a Champions League in 2000, and the whole team wasn't constructed. Ronaldo didn't come, Figo wasn't there, Beckham wasn't there. When they were all there, was 03. They didn't win a Champions League.
Who was the manager at the time?
03, 04.
Was it Del Bosque?
No. I want to say it was Luxemburgo.
Okay.
But that's my point. I just feel like they had underachieved. BBC didn't. They overachieved.
Okay.
And then you have this upcoming team where we'll see where it goes with them.
Yeah, thanks.
Yo, but now that we off of the scandal vibes, right?
Keep me hot with that, by the way. That's good. Oh.
Let's talk about the biggest scandal. Biggest fraud alert.
Who that?
Eric Ten Hag, bro. Let's have this conversation, bro.
Oh.
And Chelsea too. They part of the scandal conversation. Top Bowy's definitely a scandal.
Nah, I'm gonna have some defense for Top Bully, but go ahead.
But we're gonna go. Let's start off with proper United talk. Today, Manchester United loses 3-1 to Manchester City in the Derby. Obviously became the norm. Home, we lost 3-0. At least we got that goal, that the consolation goal. Like, okay, boom, let's get
when
it.
was your last win against? I'm trying to deep it. Your last win
Last season, 2-1 at
yes,
home.
It was okay.
And then we lost the 1-0 in the FA Cup.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm officially done with this team, bro. And I'm really personally more done with this Ten Hag vibes.
Okay, how many times you heard that? Go ahead.
No. Like
Groundhog Day.
Today, I was just like coming in knowing that the L was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But let me take what y'all took from the game, and then I'm gonna give y'all my feedback.
All right, so I saw the whole game. Credit to Ten Hag, because I think Ten Hag had...
Credit to Ten Hag is crazy.
No, but because Ten Hag had a game plan going in. Mm-hmm. It was, once Marcus Rashford went 1-0, the plan was always to get them on the counterattack, absorb. Yeah. The problem is City are so talented that it was like, I think I saw a stat where it was like in the first half, City had like over 350 passes. Mm-hmm. United had maybe less than 150. Yeah. So it's like, I think the game plan he wanted to put out there was the right one, because I think other teams, if Real played that style of play, the only difference, Real can kill them with Vinicius, Bellingham, and Rodrigo. United just don't have the front three to do that. Like, you're not scaring them with Rashford, Garnacho, and Bruno Fernandes. It's just not happening.
I mean, if Højlund was in form, I could definitely
bigger threat. There would have been a bigger threat.
But Kiko, you got to understand, there's teams in the Prem that showed up to City at the Etihad and outplayed them. Not even, they tied Palace 2-2.
I disagree.
They tied Yao 4-1. Was it 1-1 or 4-4?
I'm gonna tell you what. So the game plan.
But hold on.
No,
let me
go ahead.
land. We cannot come and be like we're out of depth. Obviously, I just seen a U16 Liverpool last week spank Chelsea.
U16 is crazy.
In the EFL Cup final. I know we seen that.
Oranges at halftime.
Literally. My man went to school the week after getting a clap up from a bunch of seniors. That was wild.
That's crazy.
He had to go to prom.
Yo, leave us out of this,
so
man.
To me, it's like, let's not speak it about that.
Right.
Obviously, it's the same usual suspects on the pitch. Mm-hmm. Ball Marcus Rashford. I feel like he's Himothy, so that's my guy. But Bruno, I feel like Ten Hag doesn't know how to utilize the current players. He doesn't know even how to fit them. Amrabat's tactical substitutions were horrible. And this is not just for the City game. Yeah. Let's talk about the Fulham loss last week. Let's talk about the whole amount of losses. Let's talk about the finishing.
Was it 11 losses?
Yeah.
Let's talk about finishing fourth in the UCL. Granted, coming from a lot of player mistakes. Yeah. But it does not. We can't just let it slide anymore. The money was spent on the players that you wanted to bring. Højlund, your player. Mason Mount, your player. Onana, your player. Amrabat, your player. Casemiro, granted, wasn't his player. Anthony, that's a freaking scandal if we going to talk about scandals.
Yeah. Didn't Bruno sign a new contract under him?
But
all these guys.
Just keep that in mind. So, granted, I see the structure above getting cleaned up. But I don't know how it's going to work with Eric Ten Hag under the board, to be honest with you.
The only thing I would say before you go is I just think the one thing with United, this whole idea of noisy neighbors and the Manchester, at some point, you need to realize they're playing chess, you're playing checkers. the comparison is no longer you guys in City. I think it's more of Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Tottenham. City right now, and Liverpool. I'll always give Liverpool that respect as long as Klopp is there. But I think that it's just this whole derby thing. It's United as a project needs to kind of like isolate themselves and just kind of build within. I just think if you compare yourself to what Man City's doing, bro, nobody's probably better than them in Europe, and that's coming from a Madrid fan. Maybe Liverpool.
Not even, but Madrid stayed relevant. UCL, La Liga titles. Y'all stayed relevant when you had Tuchel at one point, correct?
Yeah, we kept this relevant.
We kept, obviously, after the whole Roman and the war issue, that flipped the whole big switch because the club DNA had originally changed, which we're going to continue about that later. Yeah. But to us, it's been since Alex Ferguson left, we trying to find a rhythm. The closest rhythm was last season, and maybe under Ole that year we finished second in the Europa League final, whatever. Yeah. But the bar became Europa League at Manchester United. You get what I'm saying?
Standards drop.
That like we become a historic treble team, a historic English team to run 3-4 3-peats, whatever it is. To all of a sudden right now, I just want top 4. Yeah. And on top of that, spending. You know, if the spending issue wasn't there, granted, last season, because I don't want to. Ten Hag did give us happiness last season, right? But a lot of coaches last season went under the radar because I personally feel like the Prem wasn't even at bar last season. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Because City had to catch up to Arsenal in the last couple games. Arsenal was running with the league at one point. Right. Liverpool didn't even finish at the top 4. And we're looking at Liverpool, what they're doing right now. They already got a trophy. You had the likes of Brighton and Newcastle. Y'all was a whole different story. The likes of Brighton and Newcastle, Spurs.
Villa.
These were teams, West Ham, all of a sudden were the major talk of conversation. Right. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, now Eric Ten Hag, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Ten Hag just looked like he's well read now. He's understood. Yeah. Everyone knows what he's gonna come in and do.
I just thought about something, like with the Premier League especially, the Big Six control the narrative. So the Big Six control. When I say that, if United, Chelsea, look at the year Leicester won the league. Right. Chelsea not doing well, finished 10th. United finished 5th. Leicester obviously winning the league.
I think Tottenham finished second.
Tottenham finished second. But when the bigger teams fall off, that's where the Brightons, the Newcastles, the Villas, West Hams take advantage. So obviously, when things they just control the narrative in the league. If the big teams are off, it's not the same. The level is off, obviously. But the game today with United, we just got to be honest. Ten Hag is just not who we thought he was. Yeah. He's not him.
That's what I'm trying to say.
He's just not him. When he was at Ajax, he kind of fooled all of us. That 18-19 season, he fooled us.
Forget fool. I feel like he's trying to be something that he's not.
What is he? We don't even know what he is. He's not.
He's trying to create a culture, his own culture. He's not trying to create the Ajax way that was successful under him. And I started to realize Ten Hag was really his most successful when he had a ball-carrying CDM. And I don't know if you see, that's why he relies on Kobe Mainoo a lot right now. Mm-hmm. Granted, Casemiro today, I thought Casemiro did actually pretty fine.
Done all right.
But it was more like, and he's very reliant on player individuality. Right. So individualism comes big at the club. Lisandro Martinez, waiting on Mason Mount to get back. Højlund now. God forbid Rashford or Bruno go out. Luke Shaw. Now you got to rely on Lindelof at left back. Right. You get what I'm saying? Johnny Evans. It's 2024. I text that in. It's 2024.
Johnny Evans.
McTominay's my 10. Lindelof is my left back. And Johnny Evans is my center back. All due respect to players. Great players. Obviously, it's a career. You guys made it so far. It's not easy to become a professional footballer.
Never
not only a professional footballer, you're playing in one of the biggest leagues in the world, arguably the best league in the world. But you're not the standard to win a league. Right. I am not trying to violate them either. Who the hell am I? Right. But I'm just trying to say, they could be. We've seen the standard. The Rodriguez, the KDBs, the Kyle Walker's in his 30s already and he's cooking. Yeah. Nathan Aki's. That's the standard now. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just at a point where it's this is what you have to play with. So now you have to switch up tactically moving forward with the type of players that you have. Yeah. You can't always rely on the Lissandros, the Højlunds.
Yeah. No, and listen, Ratcliffe came in, and we're going to see over the summer what ends up happening. I just think one of the biggest things that's also killing United is, let me ask you this, is there anyone, not just in the United 11, but anyone in the United squad that would get into an all-time United 11?
See,
Right now?
Yeah.
No,
but,
not even close.
but here's the reason why I say that. Man City and Liverpool right now have players that would make their all-time club teams.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. You're dealing with two teams that have legendary players within the squad. United don't, like you said, they don't even have players that can make a PFA team.
We can get into the current City and Liverpool.
So that's what I'm
teams.
saying. I just think let's see what Radcliffe does. Let's see who's the new manager if Ten Hag gets sacked. But I'm like, to all United fans, like, yo, just do not look at City and Liverpool. Well, Liverpool is a different story. We'll get into that at a later date because Klopp's leaving. But as long as Guardiola is the noisy neighbor, bro, it's gonna be top 4 Europa League for a while. And that's no knock on United, but you're going up against the greatest City team we've ever seen, arguably one of the greatest Premier League teams we've ever seen.
You got to see how it plays out. See how this new project plays out.
Kiko, to finish off this United talk, right? First and foremost, all United fans are deluded. Let's just put that out there too. And it's because back the manager. I am definition of back the manager, and y'all both know that. How many times I wrote for him to Ten Hag with Sancho situation. I wrote for him with the Cristiano situation. Every single situation that came up with Erik Ten Hag, I backed him. I backed his players. I backed Anthony. But it comes a point where there's no identity nor any just understanding on what's going on at the club. You went to City, and you got ball dominated. They got dominated off the pitch. They had a small run of knocking the ball. You were banking on counterattacking individual brilliance again. If Marcus Rashford would have put those two opportunities in, it would have been a different, of course, narrative. But why are we banking on that narrative? Garnacho looked horrible after the first half. Still not no call. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why didn't you sub him? Johnny Evans was injured in the first half. Why are we waiting the second half to drop an 18-year-old in? You get what I'm saying? So it's like one of those situations where I understand where he's going, but I feel like it's like what he's thinking, he can't translate. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my biggest issue right now, Ten Hag. But back into really, really big scandals. Let's talk about these fools next to me.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
That's
Wolf of Wall Street is
that's
crazy.
That's the definition of
Wolf of Wall Street is
because this man used to send me videos of Madwiki and Lukaku and Koulibaly training.
Mudryk.
And Mudryk talk.
Yeah. Oh man, where do we start?
I'm gonna have you handle your own club to really begin with that.
We in pain, man.
Now it's we in pain.
It hurts. This hurt. Like I was on a Twitter thread and I just saw and I really deeped it. And I'm one, y'all know me. I'm not on this toxic positivity, but I like to let things play out. So when they hired Potter, obviously the new ownership comes in. Before even Potter, like I said, new ownership comes in and they throw money at things. As a fan, naturally you're gonna be like, yo, Rome, we're used to getting new signings, so you're happy. They sacked Tuchel. I'm like a little wary, like, okay, that's the first sign of what's going on here. Fine, whatever. Everyone loves Potter. Potter's everyone's second favorite coach. Brighton were balling at the time. He comes in, doesn't work. New season. Oh, man. You let go of Jorginho, Conte. We lose Kovacic. And as Chelsea fans, we weren't happy with how our club was kind of performing on the pitch. Yes, we won the Champions League, but things weren't looking like things like Champions League wins, paper over cracks. Like the squad wasn't performing as well. We finished technically 5th the year we won the Champions League. So yes, we won it, but we weren't happy. So we did want change. But what they did, they literally ripped Chelsea apart. They literally pulled the spine of what Roman built since 2003 and just yanked it out. So, yes, we bought all these talented young players, but I told you, Enzo was talented in his own right. Moises Caicedo, talented in his own right. Mudryk, I don't care what people, he's talented in his own right. But when you put these players together and they have no kind of guidance in terms of experienced older players or a structure of from a manager and how they want to play, you're going to see what we have. Bro, let's say, be real, we're not finishing in the top 6. 2 mid-table finishes 2 years in a row is crazy.
It is.
And forget what I feel, bro. Take the fans out of it. Y'all came in and spent $1 billion. Y'all came in and spent $1 billion for these results. You are businessmen. Like, forget the performance on the pitch. You want return on your investment.
Right.
It's not even about how we perform. You're losing money at this point.
Yeah.
So what are y'all gonna do about it? So I think it just needs to go back to the drawing board and go back to what made Chelsea perform.
And
You know what's my thing, my forward?
Go.
This Chelsea composition, I feel like I nailed it, right? Todd Bowie came in and he tried to come in with a whole.
That's another thing. It's not that. I'll give you some evidence. It's not Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley, where he messed up, he put himself to the forefront as the face of the project. Bro, he's in the background. Who's running it is Bedad Iqbali and the sporting directors. Okay. So that's what we got to tell people. Todd Bowley, that's where he messed up. He's like, what is shouldn't I say? You want to be dancing all in the videos, doing all. He's just the face of it, but he's in the background. You see that little background back here? It's Todd Bowley who's in the background. It's Bedad Iqbali who's really running the Chelsea project. He's a Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff,
Bedad Iqbali,
Vinales,
Paulwyn Stewart. Put their names out there. Lawrence Stewart, Paulwyn Stanley. That's who needs to be on the table.
Okay, but at the end of the day, who makes the final call and writes that check? Todd Bowley. But now, so the project is under his name, right? Forget that. I don't know no Bernie Madoff, whatever, Iqbali. I don't know that. I'm going to talk about what really matters. Chelsea came in and for some reason thought this MOB type of style of poaching players is going to work. Let me throw 8-year contracts on the next upcoming Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
This is like MLB to the finest and NBA draft.
Yeah.
Top boy, he came in and said, "That's America. And we going to do it the America way." Right. And clearly it backfired. Now, the reason why it backfired because it went away from Chelsea's DNA. Mm-hmm. Big reason with United. We're fading away from... If you looked at United back in the day, stuck to an English core, here were 2 or 3 here foreign players, bringing up from the academy or bringing in young players from outside that are actually ready, like the next wonder kid, right? That's what happened with Chelsea. Chelsea was a real men club, and we cannot deny that.
Nah, real.
Me growing
all
up,
over the place.
United era, Chelsea era, real men. Didier Drogba, Michael Essien, John Terry, Ivanovic, Carvalho even, Peter Cech.
William Gallant. The whole squad was full of real men.
Like, I'm talking about Frank Lampard, Ashley Cole. Yeah. It was a team that when you hear the name, it's like, like physical, pace, technicality. Real ball of them, bro. Yeah. So all of a sudden, let me go sign a whole project that's working for them is probably going to work for me, the Brighton project, a.k.a. Them men went and swept. They swept their whole back of the house. They swept all their players. Cucurella, Graham Potter, Caicedo. I don't know who else they get.
The whole backroom staff.
It's like it's ridiculous because now you're using the Brighton system because we've seen it work
for them.
And then let's sell our core. What was Chelsea known for?
Well, listen. You had Mason Mount. You mean at the time?
Throughout time, what would they?
Oh, come on! It's
standard of winning.
Cobham.
Cobham, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but it's known for Cobham, right? They known for the academy. What all of a sudden switched that all out? Now they're poaching other academy prospects, and they're not investing in the academy. When was the last time actually an academy player came and played up for Chelsea this season?
Nah, let's be real. Nah, the thing is, Chelsea this season, you got Levi Cole, you got Reese, you got...
Now Levi Cole was considered that? Was it? He really blew up at Brighton?
Nah, but that's what I'm...
Reece James hurt.
It goes into your point, though, because...
Conor Gallagher.
When you deep into Chelsea right now, they're looking to sell Conor Gallagher.
But
like they're even ripping out Cobham. Like they first ripped out the culture that was at the club. And now you rip Hudson-Odoi left. Mason Mount left.
But let's be fair. I don't think he was even Hudson-Odoi at one point.
But even so, I'm taking over Mudryk right now. I'm taking over Mudryk.
So I'm hearing a lot. I actually kind of disagree with you when I think Chelsea, in your point with Cobham, growing up watching Chelsea, I actually never associated Chelsea with academy. Yeah. For me, it was always Roman. We're getting the best players in. Hazard, Oscar. Like Chelsea had a standard of winning. In my opinion, I rate Pochettino. I think the biggest problem at Chelsea, in my opinion, is there's not enough characters in the locker room, right? The only guy... The only guy in the locker room that can chat shit is Thiago Silva. And Thiago Silva is 39 years old. Yeah. Right? We spoke earlier about Valencia, Real Madrid, and how that shit went down. You want to know what the final scenes were of that game? When they were getting involved with Vinny Jr., what did Rudiger, a former player, Rudiger said, "Y'all want smoke? Meet me in the tunnel." Yeah. Chelsea's a bunch of, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not here to offend anybody. Chelsea's a bunch of soft Central C lookalikes. That's all Chelsea is. Bro,
I don't think they look like such.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Not even braided.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Somebody tell Doja Cat. Not trying to indulge in that.
Tchouaméni, Rudiger, Ceballos all said after the game, yo, y'all want smoke, meet us in the tunnel. Nobody in Chelsea have dog in them. There's no leaders. Has any of the players actually came out and took blame?
No.
For the 10th place finish?
No.
Moises Caicedo, you said it yourself, talented. If I'm Caicedo, I'm probably putting my head down thinking, I could have won a Liverpool.
But see,
I could have won a Liverpool. Why'd you sign Chelsea? Nah, but Chelsea was courting me. That's what Chelsea does. Chelsea's that bad model, walk in the street, talk to you nice.
But
for what?
That's my thing, though.
What?
I don't blame the play. Take the players out of. They shouldn't be there all at the same time.
No, that's fair.
Mudryk should not be in.
They're all the same age.
They're all the same age. So that's why I don't put blame on the players. Bro, Mudryk had like 10 league professional games before he joined. Enzo off the back of 10 games at Benfica in Europe. Moises Caicedo, it's not on the players. It's on the ownership and how they structured the plan as to when they bought the club. You can't do it's too much at one time.
There's too many young guys.
It's too much at one time. So now, what do? You spent $1 billion. Are you going to take ownership or take accountability and go back to the drawing board? We have to see, but it's on them. Yeah. It's not on anyone. It's not even on Poch. Poch shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there. It's not on the players. It starts at the top, and we saw it with United. The problems they had started at the top. That's how all the good things you're experiencing right now. Where does it start? From Florentino Perez. Yeah. City. Where did it start? At the top. It didn't start with Pep. It started with Cheeky. It started with Ferran. It started with Khaldoon. Yeah. That's where all. If your club is in a good position right now, it starts at the top.
They won a league with Pellegrini.
Bro,
Mancini too. They beat Fergie technically you're winning a league over Fergie. Like you have to be. They're a well organized oil club. They're a club that you could tell even if Pep leaves,
it's a machine.
They might have an issue finding a successor, but they'll still be fine.
Yeah. And listen, and you brought up a really good point. It's a difficult situation because let's say you have a player like a Mudryk who's still trying to find his feet. Who's really there to like be in his ear? Enzo Fernandez is trying to figure it out. Caicedo's trying to figure it out. Cole Palmer's been the highlight of the season. Cole Palmer should not be in the position that he is right now. He shouldn't be a leader at this point in his career.
He's the best player on the team.
Right, and that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But you know what it is? It's coming from a winning mentality team, a winning mentality system.
When he came from City.
Exactly. So it shows you. Even Raheem at one point when he first signed, you could tell that he was probably one of the players above the bar at that team. Yeah. And it's just a class that we have to just deal with, bro. Yeah. It really comes.
Listen, I think Chelsea will be back. Eventually, but
not eventually, not anytime soon. I don't think anytime soon.
But I think the major question with the project going forward is who's driving the car. So do they make a decision? Do they stay with Poch long term? Do they make another switch in the summer?
Yep.
We'll see.
Yeah, but you heard about the crazy shit that happened this weekend though?
What?
Freaking the Olympiacos owner pulled up on the referee because y'all seen that Darwin dagger?
Last minute.
Oh yes.
Yeah. What's his name again? Evangelos.
Okay, don't even. Yeah, I'm
Evangelos Marianikis.
Okay.
Shout out my Greek though. I tried it.
Hedos, not gyros. Hedos.
Gyro pop out for this one. Turns into Euro pop out for this one. Comment battle. If you know, you know. We'll drop a little flake right there. Woo! Back in the day. But yeah. So he literally pulled up on ref trying to square up with him. Security had to pull up.
Yeah.
90th plus 9.
Yeah.
And on the 99-minute, Liverpool snatches.
Parlay, Vegas call.
Vegas. You know what's this telling you though? It's like one of the written in the star stories for club.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
I knew when they beat us in the final, it's their season.
This would be the perfect
season.
Like
bow now.
You got a man chasing you down, about to beat your ass up, and then you got club. And that's the beauty of it. But is it really gonna be their 20th Prem League title? Damn,
I
that
don't think
hurts.
so.
Yo, Arsenal. I know this sucks me saying this. Arsenal, do something for me.
No, it's Arsenal. You want Arsenal in the league?
I'd rather Arsenal over City, and I'd rather
City.
Arsenal over Pool.
I'd rather City.
Now, listen, for me,
As a United fan, give me Arsenal over both of
but
them.
here's my thing. So with the Forest owner, I will say this: I love that because that's someone who cares. The way he went about it probably should have been different, but just the affection, the emotion, you love that. In regards to Jurgen Klopp, I can't see any better way for an all-time great manager to go out. And you want to know why? That first Premier League he won, COVID year, pandemic.
Yeah.
Even though it's not right, I think some people will have an asterisk next to it. Mm-hmm. So I think winning it this year, and they can do the quadruple. They're top of the league. They're favorites for the FA Cup. And why wouldn't they run with the Europa League? Bro, for him to finish with the quadruple, listen, I think his legacy is already cemented. I don't want to get into that all-time talk, but Jurgen Klopp probably one of those managers that you would die to play for.
And it's funny, even from what happened with them last season, with the way they started the season, how poor they were, and they finished strong. I think they won like 10 of their last 11.
Yeah.
But this season, I don't know, man. The thing is, credit. Listen, Klopp deserves all the credit, but these players, what they're pulling out for him, to win what they did in the Carabao Cup final, have under 17 guys. Yeah. Van Dijk. We need to speak on Van Dijk. Van Dijk is back to all-time levels. Yeah. I think in the celebration for the cup, he said they thought I was done. He had the trophy. Bro, the dude is just swag. He's a Rolls Royce, and I was one of his biggest critics. He's an all-timer. He's, in terms of defenders, you got to put him next to JT, Rio. He's over company. But I just think they need to get their players back fit. They need to get Trent back on the pitch. Robbo's obviously playing. Nunes, Mo is back fit. I think once their players are fit, I think they're right there. I think City's next, so...
The next two games, I think.
City's next two games are
Liverpool and Arsenal.
We can't leave Arsenal out the equation either.
We can't. They did.
Because they on smoke, bro.
They did.
Let's be honest. Let's throw our hands in the air. Arsenal been on smoke. I hate to say it.
You know what I'm curious about with Arsenal? Not to talk about them too long. I wonder. Obviously, they're gonna want to beat Porto, but I'm wondering. City's gonna be in Europe all the way through. I think they'll make the final. Liverpool. I don't see why Liverpool wouldn't try to win the Europa. If you're Arsenal. I'm not implying they would want to not get knocked out of the Champions League, but I'm just saying if they say they do, dude, then you have a full run.
But I think their schedule is weird, bro. So they play Porto, and I think the next game, because they have another big game. If they go let's say they go out of Porto, they lose their next Premier League game. City beat. And they play. I think they play City. They play City.
No,
after
they play
Porto.
this week. They play Sheffield.
No, but I think they play City next week.
They play. So let's say
after international break.
Exactly. So they lose to Porto. Then they play City. They lose to City. The season is done. Forget Champions League. They lose. They knocked out the Champions League. They lose to City. The season is done.
Nah, it's too tight up top to say one loss.
But in terms of morale,
maybe morale. Yeah.
Your season is like you're on a low now. Yeah. So it's big. Like now the season's really starting to ramp up. This is where the season is won.
No, it's about to be a hot seat.
This is about to be a hot
seat. It's really.
We haven't had this since when? A 3-horse race since when?
Yeah. No, it's been a minute.
It's been time.
And even this week,
City been running with shit.
This week we got couple big matchups coming up. You got the Brighton. Surprisingly, you got Brighton Roma Europa League. That's kind of lit.
The Sarbi.
Yeah.
And then De Rossi.
The Sarbi and De Rossi, the battle of the D's. Hey yo, but that's about to be fire. And then you got actually Villa Ajax in Conference League.
Tough.
That's a sick matchup. And then obviously you have the PSG in the biggest hegemon of them all. You got the PSG versus Sociedad, the Bayern game, and Lazio. There's a couple big games, and then you also have the Prem talk. I'm excited for this week, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. I got it. This season has been cooking too.
Season been good. Season been good.
I want to give a special shout out though, like personally, on a coach, right? Just to like end this off. First of all, who you shouting out like this week for you?
This week?
Yeah. Give me somebody like
they lost and they
the footy man of the day.
Listen, my footy team of the week, and they took a bad result earlier in the week and they lost over the weekend, but Luton Town. But I love watching.
I've been saying them Luton is on smokes.
I need them to stay up. They're honestly the best team I've seen come up from the championship in a long time. Since Sheffield in 1920 when they finished ninth. They're the best team I
bro,
see come up from the championship.
Bro,
I love watching
Luton
them
on
play.
smokes, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't get that much. This is what I mean. They didn't get that much money to spend. No. You know who else I enjoy watching? I know. Side note: Gary O'Neill, Wolverhampton.
Shout out
They
Gary
sit above
O'Neill.
y'all. They definitely sit above y'all. Luton, and I said this to my boys. Like shout out Staffy, Griggs, Cole. I would tell them all the time, yo, Luton on smokes. And when I meant that is they pulling up and they're not getting hammered 3-0, 4-0 to go home. Ross Barkley at his prime, low key.
Yeah.
He's having a good season.
It's the best I've seen him.
You know what I'm
Since
saying?
Everton.
Might go to Euros.
And they're just like he's balling. Shit, I'll take him over Bruno right
Sammy Lokonga. I saw him against Liverpool. He was
now. Bro, Tahit Chong. Tendon
Nah,
Mengi.
yo.
Jamaica International.
Yo.
Nah, I like that shout for Luton. But I'm just saying Luton always been on smokes. They don't want to go back down. They make sure they putting up on a fight. Man, prayers to them. I hope they make it out of that. I promise you that.
Facts.
Honestly, my shout, Roberto, Filippo, is it Simone Inzaghi?
Yes.
That's crazy because we were talking about.
Yes.
I think he
wants him at
the
Chelsea.
most. I'll take him at United. I think he's the most slept on coach right now.
Bro, I'm telling you, Inter, they move the ball. They knock it. Yeah. They knock it.
And it's who they have. That team reached the Champions League final last season. Granted,
Could have won.
They could have won. They lost 1-0 to arguably you saying the best team.
Lukaku. Finish that.
But it's like my issue is what I'm thinking is like they're not even heavily invested.
Right.
No, yeah, that's true.
Shout out to Serie A League too, but they're not heavily invested. He's working with Calahangulu, Henrik Mkhitaryan at one point, which was last season. Lukaku left, Lautaro Martinez, Lautaro hype.
Onana left.
I'm just showing love. But like he has those core players and he's creating a core like real men ball.
Yeah.
Real men ball. What were y'all talking about in the car about that?
So I got 2 shout outs. First one, my apologies if I mispronounce his name, but I want to give a special shout out to the Valencia center half that got the injury.
Oh, yeah.
Diakby. I want to say that's his last name.
Diakby?
Yeah. Just want to give a special shout out. Wish him a fast recovery, gruesome injury. And then you can't end this episode without bringing up Xabi Alonso.
But that's clear.
34 games unbeaten.
That's unbeaten.
That's a German record
Yeah.
against FC Hollywood, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Listen, man, he's
34 games unbeaten.
Yeah, because you got Europa League, you got the Cup.
both fullbacks, Frimpong and Grimaldo, double-digit goals, double-digit assists.
Yeah. They got that boy from Guinea, right? The forward.
No, you're thinking Boniface.
No, they
Nigerian.
got Boniface. Yeah,
Boniface,
Boniface.
yeah.
Where's that
And
boy
he's
from?
injured. Mind you, he's injured. He's Nigerian.
Yeah, Boniface is injured, but the Guinean guy that plays, I think, for Stuttgart.
Oh, Gurasi.
Gurasi.
No, but he's not Leverkusen. Yeah, he's at Stuttgart.
Yeah,
But they're in third. They're in the
Oopsies.
Champions League spot.
Yeah.
They're balling too.
So
That's what I'm saying.
I gotta
Balling
give So you gotta give a credit out to Xabi Alonso, bro.
Where does he end up? We'll see.
But, yeah.
Hold on, one more thing. Yo, forget players transfer. The manager transfer. I heard Anarim has a 30 million euro release clause.
Who?
Anarim, the Sporting coach.
Oh, snap.
30 million euro, and then Dan Ashworth, y'all about to pay 20 million. Yo, forget it's not even players
I think
transfers
Alonso
now.
has a 25.
Yeah,
or
like
12?
when the players, managers, and staff start having release clauses.
Oh no,
be
I'm
honest.
wrong. I think Alonso has like Nagelsmann had 25.
Nagelsmann had a clause.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Where's the game?
The unfortunate events is that there's a scarce on coaches, bro. Jose's getting sacked. The Conte's getting sacked. And these guys were legendary. Look, Eric Ten Hag. Sheesh, every United fan was buzzing. The world was on.
Yeah.
The world after last season too. But look, like it's hard to keep up in the game.
No,
right
and I 100% agree with you because
So
I think Madrid noticed that because they re-upped Ancelotti because Ancelotti was supposed to be up in 2024. He was going to sign with Brazil, and I think Real looked at the landscape because
it's not good.
it was either Alonso or like who would you take a chance on. So I agree with your point.
Yeah, the manager market is trash.
Shout out the manager market. But yo, listen. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to our first episode back. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. We're working on better things. We're working on more interesting, entertaining, bringing this back to life. I appreciate you, everyone that tuned in. Footy is out. Shippy, you got anything to say?
Let us know in the comments what y'all want to see. The Galacticos, which Galactico era was the best? Ten Hag, let us know your thoughts. Everything, please.
And don't forget Chelsea.
Don't forget. Nah, leave that out there. Leave that out.
Kiko, you got anything to say?
Nah, man. I think we spoke about everything and just bigger projects ahead.
Say no more. Footy out.